On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 23 yards, the final tally.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Line 90. Come up the ball. 2 times, 2 times. There. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. Slam. Get the safe.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Derrick Henry. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. but coaches often hedge their bets too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They'll try the left side. Swift. And this Tennessee defense for the second straight play gets him behind the line. They're not messing around. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. A shotgun snap for Smith. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
A 1st down carry for Henry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a 1st.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Single, single the slot, single the slot. 12.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. On 2nd and 10, Wilson, and this one complete to Reed. Touchdown, Titans! In for the score. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Smith. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. They'll wind up... Getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down, Houston.
They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
To throw on second down is Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He completes this one to Mack. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is fielded inside the 5. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now a dump off here complete, and they'll bring him down right around the 13. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. He completes it to Tate. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Wilson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Now they face a 3rd and 15 here following the delay of game. Out of the gun, Smith going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
QB's trash. Let's go.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. To throw is Wilson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
On first down, Swift. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there, with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
From the 25 on second down. Wilson, complete. It's Henry. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Third and 2, now Wilson. And caught by Henry. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Wilson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10. Here's Wilson operating from the gun. It's complete to Fuller. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Titans. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Well, not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But it's also something to challenge on your offense, right?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Point after, right down the middle. And a lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Smith. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Smith on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Mack. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 3rd down gain of 19.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now Smith. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 39-yard line.
Let's go. 60 outlaw. 54. Line 54. In your face.
On 2nd and 11 now. Smith. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long, it's Smith. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go, D. Here I come.
Again, it's Henry. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 36 yards on the play.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
I want that. Give me that ball. Go. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense. Check any weapon.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Hey, alert three.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And Tate's got it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
45. Here we go.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's get it.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Directly over him. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Here's Wilson. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Titans are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Back now here on EA Sports, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Mack. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, Smith. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Smith throwing again. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 41-yard line.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Smith to throw again, and he whips that one incomplete there. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, and that'll make it 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
You guys got it.
Here we go on 4th. Smith. This is the tight end, Njoku. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
1st down, Texans.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Smith on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
Here's Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Mac 55, Mac 55.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Smith. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down, Titans, gain of 12. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, forthcoming. There for the tackle, Jacob Martin.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
7 yards there and a first down. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. At the 16.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Danny. Punch left. Flare.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
36 power.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory.